Good afternoon, delegates. Welcome to the Model United Nations News Network, the MUN, endeavor to bring you the latest news from around the globe in a timely and accurate fashion. I am Joss.
And I am Sam.
In today's top headlines for Thursday, November 7th, we have the following stories.
In East Asia, the escalating protests in Hong Kong have resulted in an imposition of formal martial law declaration by the government of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region of the People's Republic of China. Authorities in Beijing have stated they fully support the decisions of the SAR. The goals of the protesters, as represented by the Civil Human Rights Front movement, include demands for the release of imprisoned protesters, the removal of colonial-era public security laws, an inquiry into police brutality, and the resignation of Chief Executive Carrie Lam. The repeated unrest and hostilities of in Hong Kong dating back to the 2014 Umbrella Revolution has led Lam to issue a crackdown on free speech and expressionism. Furthermore, a curfew has been imposed and the military patrols have been instituted, including units of the PLA. Many Western governments have condemned the crackdown, though it remains unclear what further actions they may take.
In other news, Japanese satellites have detected a recent nuclear test at the Pyongyang nuclear test site. This comes as a shock as the site was believed to be shut down. Neighboring Asian nations as well as the international community are viewing this as a direct provocation as part of Kim Jong-un's government. Japanese officials are also reporting the recent successful miniaturization of nuclear warheads, which would make North Korea's nuclear threat exponentially greater. The United States and its allies swiftly condemned the DPRK's action, though it remains unclear at the time of reporting what countermeasures they may be considering in the face of this new alarming development. North Korea's Central News Agency has proclaimed that the nation's supreme leader, Kim Jong-un, will shortly make a statement.
From the subcontinent, we have the following breaking story. The decades-long Kashmir territorial conflict has reached new levels of tension. There has been a major attack in the Indian-administered region of Kashmir, which has been under security lockdown for the last month. An estimated 90 troops have been killed in an explosion while en route to a military facility. There has been no response from the Pakistani government. However, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has declared this to be a direct provocation and is threatening swift and decisive retaliations. United Nations Security General Antonio Guterres has urged all parties involved to exercise the utmost restraint in the latest escalation of the conflict. India and Pakistan have fought 3 wars since their independence in 1947, 2 of them over Kashmir.
In North America, the global economy today has received a major shockwave. The NYSE has plunged more than 600 points by the time of closing, which may trigger mass selling on stock markets across the world. Economists and governments are scrambling to understand this new and unfolding crisis. Some are foreshadowing a major economic downturn or even a depression. Experts suggest a Sino-American trade war, uncertainty and conflict in the Middle East, and instability in the European Union, and the destabilization of Hong Kong as key factors in the rapid decline of stock prices today. However, an even greater threat may be the loss of confidence by the world's people in globalized trading system, which could lead to an ever further contractions of the world's economy. Shareholders with traders are waiting with immense anxiety and operating bell tomorrow in the New York SE, dreading further erosion of investor confidence.
Turning to the Middle East, tensions continue to increase across the region. The US and UK governments have authorized a joint escalation of Anglo-American military presence in the Persian Gulf. This is in response to what they describe as the Islamic Republic's continuing destabilizing actions in the region. Furthermore, the United States has accused Iran of worsening the Yemeni crisis and threatening the global oil supply, and therefore the world's economy. Iranian response has included the verbal denunciation of the United States as serial warmongers. Furthermore, the Islamic Republic has vowed to swiftly counter any measures taken by America and its Zionist allies. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, has declared that any attack on Iran will result in an instant and devastating blow which will cripple its foes and leave them swimming in their own blood. It should be noted the militaries of Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Iran have now risen to their highest level of alert and war preparedness ever. That's all the stories we have for you at MUNN. We hope you will join us again tomorrow as we continue to update you on the top breaking stories. This is Sam.
And this is Joss.
Signing off for MUNN.
Ayatollah. Good afternoon, delegates from MUNN. I'm Joss.
And this is Sam.
The top headlines for Friday, November 8th are as follows.
In Southeast Asia, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been true to his word and has massed troops on the Kashmir border. This is based on the conclusion of the Indian-led investigation of the fatal attack yesterday. Imran Khan has labeled an outrageous provocation and has reciprocated with a major mobilization of his own. This is the highest level of tension over the 19 years and has disastrously culminated in a border clash. Dozens on both sides have reportedly been killed. There have been reports of missiles being moved on both sides to the demarcation line. Even though foreign leaders and diplomats are urging calm, the belligerents are uncompromising. The gravity of this crisis has been underscored by the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, who has urgently called for de-escalation and immediate peace talks. Several members of the Security Council have stated that they are working to bring the matter to a full discussion later today. Both India and Pakistan are nuclear-armed nations and have fought 3 wars since independence in 1947.
In Northeast Asia, Kim Jong-un has stunned the world by declaring that North Korea is now the 9th nation to be in possession of a fully operational intercontinental nuclear weapons. Kim proclaimed that these missiles are capable of striking any corner of the planet. In North Korea's supreme leader decided that the hypocrisy of the NPT treaty and lamented that his generous offer to negotiate with the United States has been thwarted by the belligerent and poisonous individuals in the Trump administration. This announcement has thrown neighboring nations and major global powers into a state of uncertainty and fear. The North Korean leader's future intentions were ambitious in his address, yet he has issued a warning that all those who challenge the authority of our great nation will suffer a sea of fire. The United States and South Korea have issued joint condemnation and are pushing for talks with Japan, Russia, and China to discuss the alarming new crisis in Northeast Asia, turning to the fast-developing situation.
In the Middle East, Iran's foreign news agency has reported that there have been airstrikes on multiple military installations and bases within the Islamic Republic. The nuclear facility at Arka has been hardest hit, with multiple explosions being witnessed between 1 a.m. and 1:15 a.m. There are reports of numerous casualties and extensive collateral damage. No government has claimed responsibility for the strike. However, the commander of the Revolutionary Guard's Quds forces, Qasem Soleimani, has declared the assault to be a despicable assault by Zionist Israel, fully backed by the warmongering United States, and vowed the swift revenge. Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Zarif has announced that the attack is obviously an act of war and that Iran will defend itself and use any and all means at its disposal. MUNN has received homemade footage of what they are reported to be the strikes. That's all the top stories for today. We'll continue to keep you updated and informed tomorrow. This is Sam.
And Joss.
Signing off on behalf of MUNN for November 8th.
Welcome once again to MUN. I'm Joss, and this is my colleague,
Sam.
The top headline for this morning, Saturday, November 9th, involves ever-expanding crisis in the Middle East. Multiple attacks have been launched early this morning in the Middle East on several targets and countries. Israel has reported that at least 10 Scud missiles have been launched from the Lebanon and Gaza Strip, resulting in several dozen casualties in the Haifa and the Tel Aviv. Israel has asserted that it will defend its people using all necessary means and will not show mercy to its enemies. Counterstrikes have been launched by the IDF on targets in both Lebanon and the Gaza Strip. Iran has again suffered airstrikes for the second day, running with the targets near and within Tehran. Iran states that the second brazen attack is yet another vile act of war and will respond as follows. The Islamic Republic has declared that the Strait of Hormuz is now closed and that any and all ships entering the waterway will be detained or sunk. The deputy commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guards has proclaimed that America would not dare attack the Islamic Republic and Iran will never surrender to the forces of the criminal hypocrites in the West.
The United States has condemned what it calls acts of terror perpetrated on Israel by Iran. Mike Pompeo, the American Secretary of State, has stated two carrier strike groups, the USS John Stenny and USS Mackinac Islands, are speeding towards the Persian Gulf to protect the vital area. The European and African unions have urgently called for an immediate cessation of all hostilities and crisis talks to commence. UN Security General Antonio Guterres has expressed the gravest concern and alarm at the continuing escalation of this now region-wide crisis. It would appear that the Middle East is on the brink of all-out war and catastrophe, which will have truly global ramifications.
Well, thank you very much for watching the Model United Nations News Network. My name is Joss.
And this is Sam.
Thank you for watching. This one's on Friday 9th.